Shit, I didn't have my microphone on, guys. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little stream for you lads and lasses. We are here. It's a lunchtime stream, guys. We're here for some lunch vibes to discuss the latest Manchester United news, reaction, fallout, etc. to the game yesterday, the Manchester derby, which obviously didn't go too well for us in the end. We'll get into it, thoughts, reaction, opinions, pundits, all that guff in this coming hour. So get in there, my friends. Thank you for joining us for the lunchtime show. We're not usually on at this time. So welcome in, everyone. Hope you're all having a great day. Maybe you're just getting up. Maybe you're on your lunch break at work or whatever, you know, reeling after that gastastic day yesterday. Perhaps you work with some city scummers, some absolute city wank bags, and you've had to go into work and work with some city wank bags today. I feel for you if that's the case, guys. I do. So, yeah, but, you know, thanks for being here. Do us a favour at the start of this show. Smash that like button on this one. Give us a big thumbs up at the start of the show. That will boost us up there and spread us around. Also, give us a share if you want on the social media accounts anywhere you like. You can give us a repost on x.com/FlyingPigUnited if you want. Welcome into you all, by the way. Jonathan Gallagher, Old Dirty Benjo, what's going on there? Duke of Rodtown, Natalia, Dave, what's happening? T-Mill, Sirius Lee, Scoojo, Rakdos, yes mate, Dave Watkins, Jonathan, T-Mill, DBR, Kevin Kilbert, and everybody else, everybody who's in here, thanks for being in here, welcome in. We've got a super chat right at the start of the show here from Man United Fan for Life. Get in there, you beauty. Cheers for that, bro. He says, this club pains me. How are you? And Fan Piggy. Not too bad, mate. Feeling a bit better today. Still a little bit, like, rough. But also just a little bit, obviously, deflated, disappointed with Manchester United as well. Just, yeah, feeling a little bit low, generally, about the state of affairs, really, at the football club. Obviously, Ten Hag's future is in doubt. With Ineos here in the summer, he may well be getting sacked off. Who knows? Could be before. Who knows? Depends how things go. Yesterday was kind of a big game for Ten Hag to try and restore some sort of faith, perhaps. And although I think we played actually pretty well and set up better than we have done in a lot of recent games and looked better and had more tenacity about us, we still are obviously miles away from where we need to be. We have got big injury problems. I feel for Ten Hag, but it pains me too, to be honest with you, Man United Fan for Life, just where we're at with the club. Are we going down the right path with Ten Hag? Probably not, which means that we're going to have another reset in the summer. We've seen this many times post-Fergie. We've had every couple of seasons, or more or less. We've had new managers coming in here with a new set of ideas, and it's going to be the one, and it just doesn't materialise, does it? It's a lot down to just the state of the running of the club, obviously from the top down, but it's very painful, mate. Thank you, Man United Fan for Life, for getting in here. I do appreciate you, and everybody else who's in here as well. Big up yourselves. Lee Everett, welcome in. Ollie Khan, yes guys, get in. Zayn Miyasi, thank you very much for your super chat here, Zayn Miyasi. What's going on? Piggy, are you ready for tonight? Watch along. So what, Sheffield United, is it Sheffield United Arsenal tonight? Is that the game that's on? I mean, Zayn Miyasi, unless you send me about £60, I'm not going to do it. I'll be honest with you, mate. Time is money, my friend. But Zayn Miyasi, thank you very much for your super chat. I'm just kidding, obviously. I'm just kidding. Thank you for your super chat there, Zayn. And I probably won't be doing that. I'll be totally honest with you, mate. No. Anyway, Lee Everett. Yeah, hopefully you're getting battered tonight, mate. Yeah. Ruddy can't game tuning in from work. Yes, bro. Early bird catches a worm over in New York, mate. Fair play to you. So, another Arsenal scummer getting in here. Right, anyway, so... where do we begin, guys, really? Ten Hag, the manager of Manchester United, speaking after the game. Let's just look at some of the sort of highlighted comments here. obviously after the game. I feel like he's obviously just sort of clutching at straws a little bit here, old Eric. He said, don't forget Man City, the best team in the world in this moment. We can be close with everyone on board. We have many problems out due to injury. We were already close in the final last year. I mean, to be fair, right, can't really disagree with anything that he said there, really. I mean, apart from the fact that we're actually quite far off of them, really, if we actually think about it. But actually, the game, we were in the game yesterday, weren't we? So for much of the game, for 70 minutes of the game, we were in that game. There was a key moment in that game as well, where Alejandro Garnacho's through on goal and he's taken out by Edison, and it could have potentially been a penalty. I think it was a penalty. What do you guys think? Seriously, you know, just now you've had time to digest it. The reason I think it's a pen is because it's a dangerous studs-up tackle from Edison for a start. He did win the ball first, but he's gone through the man. It's dangerous. Plus, also, if he hadn't actually taken the man out with a dangerous tackle, Garnacho would have been on his feet still to be able to round the keeper. The ball's bobbled up in the air, which means that he would have got onto that chance, or could have got onto that chance, to put it in the back of the net, which is a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. So it's a fucking red, mate. That's what it's a red as well, but it's also a pen. That's personally what I think, but it didn't materialise that way, obviously. A lot of people think it was no penalty. I can see a lot of people in the live chat saying no pen here. And to be fair, you know, I understand where you're coming from because the ball's been won first. If we're talking about this 20 years ago, I don't think it's really a debate. But I think in this modern era, it's a dangerous tackle. And there's also a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity there. So, you know, maybe I'm just biased. Maybe I'm bitter. Whatever. You can say what you want. But that's generally how I feel. That was a key moment in the game that obviously changed the complexion of things. And, yes, City, obviously, for the last 20 minutes of the game were the better side. Throughout the game, they obviously created all the chances. They had more shots on goal than we had percentage of possession throughout the game. Oh my God! Let's get some shit emojis in the live chat because I'm sorry, that is absolutely gash. To be fair, though, you're always going to have less possession against City at the Etihad. It's just the sort of side they are. They are a possession side, aren't they? Roshmano, what's going on, mate? Welcome in, you legend. How you doing today? And Berber getting in there, you legend. How you doing? He comments a starting 11 with Trashford, Johnny Evans and Lindelof. Who actually expects them to beat City? True. I mean, I predicted 3-0 to City before the game, so we did slightly better than that, didn't we? And we did actually do quite reasonably well considering what you've just said. We have got players out. We have got pretty gash personnel in there. And you know, even like the big game players, the likes of Bruno and Rashford, the big name players, it's not like they're in any fantastic form going into that game where we could say, hey, they're probably going to be the match winner for us. So I agree, really. Nobody really expected us to get anything from that game. We didn't get anything from that game. We could have got something from that game. So I suppose in reality, it just went a little bit better than what it could have done. Zay Miyasi, thank you very much indeed for another one of these. He says, Arsenal smoked City. Ten Hag making excuses. Well, Ten Hag is making some excuses. To be fair, he is making some excuses. He's trying to fight for his job, obviously. He's trying to get Manchester United back on the right track. But let's be real about this for a second, though. Go into the Etihad and play in City right now. They're the treble winners from last season. Man United in turmoil. Even if we weren't in the sort of position we're in now where we're miles off top four and a goal difference of -2 and all the rest of it. Even if it was last season where we've actually got a little bit of momentum, it's like they're going to outclass us. That's the reality because we're just years in the making, you know, for whoever, whether it's Ten Hag or any manager. We're years in the making. So it is obviously a very difficult task for anybody to go and do that. But it is quite disappointing, obviously, how things panned out because we were in the game. We could have got something from it. A great shout, the Mog. He says, I'd give 2 penalties, 3 red cards, a massive fine and a 5-game ban for that horror tackle. Now you're talking. Now you're talking there, the Mog. You see, I do think, let's be honest now, the officials yesterday, guys, were an abysmal shambles. Yeah. So they definitely didn't make it easy for us. I think they were in favour of City. Let's just say how it is. Maybe some brown envelopes were exchanged before the fucking game. You know, maybe that's what's been going on. Some palms have been greased because there definitely seemed to be some favouring of Manchester City in that game yesterday. That particular Garnacho moment, one or two other moments in the game I think was sus. I think the officials were in favour of City. That's right, I said it. So it would be no surprise, would it? It would be no surprise. Anyway, not bitter, just honesty and observation. I feel like the officials were against us. Smash a 1 if you agree with that. You know, maybe I'm just making this up, but smash a 2 if you disagree with me and you think I am making it up. Smash a 1 if you agree with what I've said and you think that there was just some favour. I'm not saying they've actually bunged the bloody officials. Smash a 1 if you agree that they seemed to just, for some reason, be favouring those shitty had melts at the Etihad there. You know, so That's what I felt. Anyway, lots of ones in the live chat, a couple of twos. Fair enough. Maybe sour grapes, but genuinely, I thought the officials were a fucking shambles yesterday and literally ruined the game for us because we could have got a result, not saying the win, but we could have perhaps had a draw, I think, if, that Garnacho penalty's been given, etc. See, Mias, you always have to bring it back down to some sort of completely non-essential level here. You know what I mean? Why, this has got nothing to do with anything, mate. Beetlejuice movie? No, I'm not. I don't even like the first Beetlejuice movie, mate. Mrs. P loves Beetlejuice. She's Beetlejuice mad. I hate Beetlejuice, mate. I give it a 6 out of 10. It was all right. Bang average. Most Tim Burton films, I think, are overrated, to be honest with you. But there you go. Not everyone agrees. He's obviously very popular. Thank you, Zamiasi, for your total nonsense super chat there, mate. Not looking forward to it, to be honest. You know why I'm not looking forward to it? Because I don't like Beetlejuice, and I've got to be the one to go and go and accompany Mrs. P to go and watch the bastard thing. Okay, so let's just talk about what Ten Hag has said, though, after the game. He also said, so he said we can be close. He also said that the gap is not that big. So, I mean, in regards to, the gap for now, us and City is massive, obviously, at this moment in time, in my opinion. The gap between us and top four is quite significant. There's a couple of gaps going on here. But certainly, if you think about the levels between Manchester City and Manchester United, Eric Ten Hag's sort of talking like Manchester United are really quite close to Manchester City in terms of matching them on the football pitch. That's just not the case because the style just isn't there. I mean, look at the statistics from the game. They've had an insane amount of possession. They've had an insane amount of shots. He's right in what he said after the game, which is that possession doesn't win you games of football, but shots combined with possession, combined with expected goals, combined with where you are on the pitch at the time and what percentage of the time you're camped to the opposition third, all of these things, they do factor in. Now, it doesn't guarantee you can concede 30 shots in a game and have one shot and win the game. That's football. If you stay tight defensively, counter well, you can win games of football by playing that way, absolutely. But it's not an indicator, I don't think, of any progression that's taken place for Manchester United here. We've come up against City. There's a golfing class between us. They've dominated us for chances all over the pitch. We've barely had a few. We've been in the game because we have set up tight to be organised and counter. We've done well, to be fair. The players have played well. The organisation's there. The tactics, I think, from Ten Hag were actually reasonably spot on for trying to get something out of this game, which nearly happened. If it wasn't for bullshit officiating a couple of bottle moments like Gashford giving the ball away when he dived and all that sort of stuff, we might have had something from that game. So, I understand the approach. But there's definitely a big golfing class between the two teams, obviously. I think that's fair. I mean, if we just analyse this... Wait a sec, we've got a super chat here before we do. From Ruddy Can't Game. It's a message retracted, mate. I can't even get it up on the stream because you've retracted your message, Ruddy. Controversial, lad. What did you say? Thank you for the super chat, Ruddy, mate. And Simon Cowie. Thank you for the super chat, Simon Cowie. Get in there, lad. Appreciate you. He says, Pig, Eric Ten Hag sold us a dream, and it's turned into a nightmare quickly. We need Radcliffe and the board to sack Ten Hag at the end of the season. Fair play to you, Simon Cowie. Strong words, mate. I think you're going to get your wish. I generally think that he has underperformed this season. The style hasn't really come to fruition that we were promised. No, we were sort of promised, this quick transitional team, this team that is going to be a pressing beast and an attacking team. Sort of like what Ajax were in the Eredivisie. Obviously, it's a totally different league with much more competition. It's different culture, but they were obviously a good stylistic dominant side under Eric Ten Hag, and even that translated over into the Champions League. So you've got to say we were expecting more progression, more style, more offensive qualities, just better play, weren't we? That's what we were expecting, and we have maybe been sold somewhat of a dream. Listen, I feel for Ten Hag because it's a heck of a job. It's a poison chalice of a job. The pressure's mad. The hierarchy's gash. Maybe under Ineos, things could be different. But you can't get away from the fact that he's had nearly 2 years now. He's had 400 million. He's signed a lot of players that are his approved players, and half of those players have just turned to shite. Onana, to credit him, he's doing bits at the moment. Respect to Onana, he had a good game yesterday and he's done well. But, he was a reasonably suspect signing. All's for the price when you had De Gea already. Then you've got Mason Mount. Obviously, Gash, what the hell's that all about? And Anthony, etc. So he's obviously not spent 100% well. Either way, he's got to do with what he's got with the squad. He's got to do, what he can with this particular set of players that he's got. It's not a great set of players. But he has spent 400 million to add to that team. We still had some very, very good players before. And obviously, Bruno Fernandes was just an amazing player before turned up. So I don't know what to say, guys. I think that Ten Hag has ultimately failed this season. This game is not the reason for it, though. This is just another straw to the camel's back, you know. This is not the reason for it. Can he still turn it around? I just don't know. I mean, guys, are you Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out? Let's just say it. Obviously, Simon Cowell is Ten Hag out here. Depending on who the right, depending on who we appointed, I would perhaps be interested in seeing Ten Hag go. Yeah, I must admit, just to see a new, fresh approach. That's just my opinion. But who though? It has to be the right person. I'm not just interested in giving it to somebody on a whim, like a Potter or a De Zerbi, you know, or somebody who's done well at a smaller club. No, it needs to be somebody proven. But to be fair to Ten Hag, he's, as far as I know, at 1:44 in the afternoon here on the 4th of March, he's still Manchester United manager. He's not been sacked today, so he's still here. He will have until the end of the season, and I hope he turns it around. I hope he gets top 4. I hope he goes on a run now. I hope he starts playing some great football. You know, got nothing to lose now, really. Hope we beat those Liverpool scummers on the 17th in the FA Cup and go and maybe have a chance at some silverware this season. That's obviously what we want to see. And Ten Hag is here. It's obviously difficult. The game yesterday is not the reason for me saying, you know, maybe Ten Hag's time is up, because we're always going to lose that game, really. Out, says Farabi. In, says Cat Lego. Get in there. In, says Kane. Love it. Let's have a little look-see. In, says New. Out, says Lee. Ten Hag, doubt. You've got doubts about him. I agree, Berber. You know, officials cost us. You know, moments in the game, key moments in the game cost us. I.e., yeah, Rashford just shitting it and going down like an absolute melt. Maybe you just have to write that off because he did score a worldie. But yeah, I mean, that's not the reason we lost the game, obviously. But stuff like that not going our way. The Garnacho incident as well, not being awarded that, and then they got up the other end and scored. There were some real key moments and key blows in that game which absolutely stitched us up. So, yeah, that's fair. Zidane out, says Hardcore Gamer. Nagelsmann's the only person you'd want out, along with a bunch of players. Top 4's long gone. Who's available, though? Yeah, well, Natalia. Who is available? So, in the summer, who could be available? I mean, there could be a lot more managers available. Nagelsmann obviously makes a bit of sense. Tuchel's going to be available in the summer. Don't want that puppeteer looking melt. Definitely not. You know, but yeah, I guess you have to address the landscape in the summer, because there could be some appointments, there could be some sackings, there could be some people walking away in the summer. Things, the landscape could change. Thank you, Andy Burns. I appreciate you. If you love the content like Andy, do us a favour and smash that like button here, everybody. Take a second to twat that like on the video. It's free. You might as well tickle the thumbs up. And it helps us out. It gives us a boost up there and all that jazz. So twat that like button if you haven't done so. Hit the likes. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you get subscribed so you can have your say in the live chat in the community here and get involved. Smash the subscribe. It's free. It's free content, baby. So hit that subscribe. Xabi Alonso. Okay, but that's not going to happen, is it? I mean, for a start, he's a ex-Liverpool scummer. That only counts for so much. But I do think that he will be the natural replacement, probably for Jurgen Klopp over at Liverpool, won't he? Because Jurgen's leaving at the end of the season. He's an ex-Liverpool player. He's showing, obviously, great acumen and great abilities as a manager over there in Germany. It seems like that's probably nailed on, if you ask me. Simon Cowie. Wow, bloody hell. Let's get some love hearts in there for Simon Cowie, mate. Thank you very much for the generous 1999 super chat there, my son. Get in there, Simon. Thank you, boss. He says, Pig, that was Ten Hag's problem. It's not Denmark. And it's not the Eredivisie. And we are not and never were going to be Ajax 2.0. Fair enough, yeah. Well, those were some of the questions that were asked about Ten Hag when he was appointed. Has he actually got the experience for this job? He doesn't have any Premier League experience, which, let's face it, if you're going to be a Premier League manager, that's quite a big thing to have, perhaps, under your belt. You know, and also, would he be able to adapt to that sort of change in footballing culture, that competitiveness of the Premier League, and the different style of the football that's played in the Premier League? Would he be able to adapt to it? I think he actually answered a lot of questions in that first season. Let's face it, guys, his first season was a massive success. It just was. It was. He got players back on track. He developed players. He also got us top 4. We got to a League Cup final and won it. We got to the FA Cup final. He actually had a very good season last season. Fair play to him. Credit where credit's due. But this season, it's just completely gone sort of the other way. It's gone backwards. It has gone backwards because now we're on a goal difference of -2, which is only slightly worse than last season, but it's worse. And then also, the position of where we are in the league and how far we are off of top 4 and the fact that we're so far off of first place. It's piss poor, mate. It's unacceptable, really. It's unacceptable, really. Simon, thank you very much for your super chat. That's very nice of you. Thanks for getting the love hearts in there for Simon as well. Absolute legends. Rushmano loves to dig those City scummers. Get in. He says nearly the whole City fan base is in the chat, all 3 of them. That's the point, actually. When I said at the start of the show, I feel bad for anybody who's working alongside any City wankers today on this Monday. I should have thought there's probably only a couple of people in the world who are actually working alongside a City scummer. So fair play to you, Rushmano. Loved that. Stephen Shipman, good morning to you over there in America, my man. What's going on? Yeah, let's get into it then, Always. So possession is just, it doesn't tell the whole story. Ten Hag's right after the game. He said possession doesn't win you games of football necessarily, but it's all that goes with it. It's the shots. It's the control of the game. It's where on the pitch these moments and phases of play are taking place. And obviously it all happened in our half and in our third. I mean, if you actually look at the heat map at halftime, they showed it on the broadcast yesterday. And it's to be expected, but literally all of our players but one average position was deep in our own half. And all of every City players but one were deep in Man United's half. So it's like, that's the sort of game it was going to be, and that's how it was. And we're just miles away in terms of the possession. And if you look at the possession stats here, they make for just horrible reading. By the way, thank you to Rakdos Madness, mate. Long-time legend of the channel. Rakdos, thank you for gifting out a membership on the channel, bro. Come on, it's gone to must play. You're a lucky boy, lad. Thank Rakdos Madness. Thank you, Rakdos. Get some love in there, guys, for Rakdos Madness there, for gifting out a membership on the channel. You beauty. Thank you very much there. Thank you very much. Okay. So you're a legend, by the way, mate. That's beautiful. So let's have a look at these stats. These are not legendary stats. These are filth stats. 3-1 to City, obviously, is the filthest stat. That's the scoreline. These stats are horrible. Look at this. 74% possession to 26% possession, Manchester United. Expected goals, well, that's just, that's guff if you ask me. But total shots, 27 and 3. So, yes, this is awful, guys. This is absolutely awful. They had more shots than we had possession of the football. That's awful. But I guess that was what was going to happen all along. In the future, I just hope for the days when we can say, you know what, we can go to the Etihad and we can match these wankers blow for blow and we can play attacking football and we can get at them and try and cut them open and beat those bastards. That will happen once again, guys. Oh, yes, it will. Be it down to Manchester City finally being penalised and punished for their financial fair play guffery and all that, or just Manchester United finally getting their act together and getting back to the glory days. I think it's going to happen at one point, but right now, it's a shit sandwich, guys. It's a shit sandwich, and we're not there. It's going to be years, I think, until we're there. But that was always going to be the case, wasn't it? this sort of performance, But it's like if we have gone to the Etihad to try and play attacking football, we'd have probably just got beaten by even more. Like they are obviously a dominant side. They are the best team in terms of possession, the best team in terms of keeping on the ball to work chances. And if we'd have just opened up and tried to get at them, we might have scored a couple. But we probably already also conceded 5. So there you go. Man United went to the Etihad. We basically did what we did. It went a little bit better than expected because I suppose we all thought we were just going to go there and get absolutely puddinged. But at least Rashford scored that one at the start. We were in the game. We had a couple of moments. It was that Garnacho incident. If things had gone a little bit differently, if the officials weren't right up City's arsehole, then perhaps we could have got a little bit of something from the game. So all in all, it was shite, but it was a little bit better than what it could have been, But that's awful. That's where we're at right now, guys. You just got to understand that's where we're at. And as I say, Man City had more shots than Man United had possession. That is a filthy stat. It's a filthy stat. I'm just going to get into the live chat for a minute real quick. We've got a couple more things to discuss here, but we're going to get into the live chat for a minute here, see your guys' opinions, thoughts and reactions and stuff to the game here briefly. Get your opinions in. Let's have a look at what you're saying for a couple of minutes in response to these, possession stats and Ten Hag's comments after the game. Let's get your thoughts and opinions in there. Kieran says, just came back from a brutal gym session. Smash the like. Love you all. Kieran, thank you. Yes, Kieran, hit that thumbs up button. Hope you're smashing it out of the gym, mate. I hope Ten Hag's smashing these players out on the old pitch today. Wait, that sounded a bit wrong. That sounded a bit wrong, but you know what I mean? I hope he's beasting them. Meaning, like, I hope they're going on a bloody 8-mile run again today, mate, and getting some action. They won't like that, though, because I don't know if you've seen this from Samuel Luckhurst, but Samuel Luckhurst, or Samuel Lyhurst, whatever you want to call him, but Samuel Luckhurst just says that a minority of Man United players are concerned about the running demands from Erik ten Hag. Some players believe the intensity is too taxing after United's 62-game campaign last season, and the workload has contributed to the club's injury toll. Man the fuck up! I don't, personally, I don't even know if this is just some report from Samuel Luckhurst, but it wouldn't surprise me if these overpaid prima donna set of melts are complaining about too much running in training or too much running out there. It doesn't look like half of them are, like pressing machines out there half the time. We looked good against City, but, against Forest and Fulham, there's a lot to be designed in that regard. They don't look overworked. Anyway, I don't think they look overworked, but there you go. Maybe that's a factor. So the injuries are mounting up. They've been apparent for the time that Ten Hag's been here.
Get in there,
Is it a coincidence? I don't know. Maybe Ten Hag's training methods, maybe his conditioning and all that sort of stuff. Maybe that sort of those methods are actually leading to some players getting injured more so than not, perhaps. I don't know. I mean, let's face it. These guys are they're professional athletes. It's not like they're going to be doing crazy puke drills or anything out there, I think it's just more bollocks, isn't it? That sounds like bollocks. Yeah, overpaid, not overworked. Great shout there, Red Olsen. Yeah, that's right. They rest on the pitch. Love that, PJ. Those who say you must have faith in Ten Hag, first you must understand what faith means. Faith means faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Hey, fair play to you there, Moe. That's getting a little bit deep there and philosophical for this one, but I respect it. And I've got to be honest, from what I've seen, I have seen a lot of disappointing things lately from Ten Hag, man, and it's just hard to really get away from, mate. Arsenal handed to him in the derby. No passion, no energy, no fight from Man United. People saying Fergie was given time. Yes, but he didn't have spoiled divas at the club back then. Back then, players were working class for the most part, not rich kids. Yeah, fair play, but he still had to change some things up, though, must play. He still had to change the culture of the football club. So, having read a lot of Fergie's books and things like that, like obviously he's when he first came, there was like this big drinking culture at the football club, which he was kind of like disgusted by. Even people like Captain Marvel, Robbo and stuff like that, getting bang on the booze and just living it up and not being the most professional. Not my words, the words of Sir Alex Ferguson. So he actually obviously had to change a lot of things, change the mentality, change the culture. It takes massive time. And that's true. It was a totally different era back then, it really was. And that is true. There's a lot less prima donna melters. But still, I guess it's all relative, isn't it? I guess it's all relative. He still had to change things. He still had to obviously build things. People, I don't know how we can really compare Sir Alex to Ten Hag, though. That's the problem. I mean, obviously you do need to have faith in your new managers and hope that they're going to go on and be given the time to be able to reach their potential as United manager. It would have been a shame to have sacked Fergie off before he went on and did what he did for Manchester United, which they could have done, couldn't they? So it would have been a massive shame, for instance. But there also comes a point where it becomes a little bit futile. I don't think we're there yet with Ten Hag. I don't think it's futile yet with Ten Hag, but we're getting to the point where it's a massive concern as whether or not we've got the right person in charge with more investment coming in the summer. Ineos prepared to spend big money. He signed certain players that are suspect. These are the things you have to consider. He's also not got a track record of winning trophies, other than, last year of the League Cup, Mickey Mouse Cup, I suppose, actually. And some guff ones in Holland. But, I mean proper trophies, guys, I mean proper trophies. Piggy, you can't do much with those players. That's the limit in standard. Well, fair enough then. Well, don't spend 85 million on a fidget spinner who started in the game, and don't. There's obviously you've got to plan better in the squad. It's not his fault that the players that were there before he came were there, but it's obviously partially his fault. A lot of the signings that have been made, it's not his fault how much has been spent. Maybe he wanted other players, perhaps the recruitment team's just guff and there's the scouting network's guff and we have to sign signings literally on the back of Erik ten Hag's cigarette packet. Do you know what I mean? That's what we have to do because we've got no resources there. I don't know what the case is because of the shithouse Glazer ownership. But whatever the case may be, we've given faith in Ten Hag with his signings and half of them haven't been good. So if you're yes or no, if you're the new Ineos leadership and you want to spend £300 million this summer to invest it, would you feel comfortable spending that money with Ten Hag at the wheel and allowing him to shape the squad further in his image? Yes or no? Because that's 300 million that could be spent on a different manager with a different set of ideas, with a different plan, and that plan could be implemented a lot better, potentially. It could also be implemented worse. But I don't see Ten Hag to have put himself in a position where I'm confident in going out there and spending loads of money. But guess what? That's what United need in the summer. We need a massive overhaul. We need to get rid of half the players in the squad and bring in 10 new players, or at least 6, 7 new players. We need a big change this summer. This has to be the summer where there's big change. This is the one. The open heart surgery this summer. This is the one. Ineos. So because of that, it's like it doesn't fill us with confidence that Ten Hag going to spend that money well. No, says PJ. No, says Demooch Baby. Hell no, says Farabi. And you can argue, okay, well, managers only have so much say in the recruitment anyway. But if you actually look at all of Ten Hag's signings, they're all Ten Hag players. They're all Ten Hag earmarked players that he's picked out. And in the future, maybe there'd be more of a case of, we're going to assess this player. We think this is a good player. What do you think? And if Ten Hag doesn't want him, then, what? I don't know. I just think it's not going to be it's not going to marry well together in the summer. Needs to go, says BD Zombie. No, says Conor Ryan. Says yes. No, proven reckless, says Jonathan Gallagher. Hag have most loss percentage as United manager. So what's your take on that? Hag have the most loss percentage. Do you mean in one season? We've lost a lot of games. Yeah, I think that's what you mean. He's actually got quite a good win percentage overall. In fact, I think it's better than Fergie still, isn't it? Somebody said in the chat at some point. So I could be wrong there, but I know his percentage is good in terms of overall wins. But actually this season it's terrible in terms of we've 10 losses in the Premier League campaign and stuff like that. Shocking. By the way, we've got 286 legends in it. Take a second to hit the like button and do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Check that out. We're only 13 subscribers away from 80,500 subscribers, guys. So do hit the subscribe button if it's your first time here. We're on here daily covering the latest United news in a no bullshit, no clickbait way. Get yourself involved by subscribing. Nice one. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Rakdos Madness. Yeah, just an early stream madhouse. Woke up today with a lot on my mind. So come on here to discuss it. And also give the latest news. So, yes, let's just talk about these comments for a second from Paul Scholes as well, seeing as we're on this whole Ten Hag debate. Paul Scholes has been speaking, and he said this on Ten Hag's future. And it's something that I generally agree with, really. He said, I think Ineos have already made their mind up. I don't think he'll be there next season. I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking for a new manager now. I think he's right. I do think he's right. I think the wheels will already be in motion, just in case Ten Hag does completely shit the bed for the rest of the season, and even already based on sort of what's happened. But certainly they'll be putting provisions in place, just in case that there will be a change into the guard in the summer there, definitely. So they're already making plans. They've already got managers earmarked or, picked out for potential replacements for Erik Ten Hag. That's absolutely true. They'd be doing that anyway, though, I'm pretty sure. It's just in case, things don't work out with Erik Ten Hag, which they're not at the moment. They will have an idea of how they want to do things also. And unless Erik Ten Hag, as I say, does amazing things for the rest of the season and changes everyone's mind, he's basically just a Dutch Kojak-looking interim manager right now, isn't he? He is. He's just basically an interim manager to end of the season. Give it Ten Hag to end of the season. Why sack him off now? There's no point. The right manager may become available in the summer. Also, the new manager, they can have some time to work with the team and maybe to assess who they want to keep, who they want to get rid of and stuff, and have a couple of months. But fundamentally, the season's dead. The season's a write-off. The season's filth. Why would you want to tarnish your reputation by finishing 6th or 7th or whatever? Or, it just doesn't add up. You might as well let Ten Hag stay to the end of the season and then appoint a new manager. So I agree. I think that's probably what's going to happen. We're probably going to see a new manager coming in this summer. It's a shame. It's a shame. And I hope I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, that means that Ten Hag's turned this around. And that means that Ten Hag's got this United side playing good football for the remainder of the campaign. And maybe got us a positive goal difference, for fuck's sake. And maybe actually, got us top 4. If we get top 4, fair enough. Maybe give him another shot, because crikey, would have gone on a serious change of momentum and a run of form if we, from where we are right now, 11 points off the top 4, can actually get top 4. If we do that, we must have had a fantastic last few months. So fair play to him. But that's a big if at this stage. It's a big if at this stage. So I think the writing's on the wall for Erik Ten Hag, sadly. And I think we'll be making a change in the summer. Yeah, make the most of it. His substitutions, don't even get me started, mate. This is a big problem I have. I thought we were set up well. The tactics were good. The organisation was good. We were in the game. We were unlucky with the officials. We could have got something from the game. But his substitutions were shite, yeah. Hardcore Gamer, we need leaders on and off the pitch. Spot on. The Vootinator, thank you very much. 131 likes on the stream. Thank you so much, everybody who's hit that thumbs up button there. It does help the channel out and help us compete with clickbaiters and corporations. So thank you, everyone who's hit that. Nice one. Ownership, good debate. Away. So what's this away saying? Hang on a second. I can see you, Berber and Rushy going at away. So what's he going on? Want some more salt on your chips, lads? You're getting owned here, like you got owned on the pitch yesterday. Oh, who are you, Ace? Away? Some sort of fucking 12-year-old city virgin or something? What's going on? Like, who are you coming in here, lad? You know, like, what's your problem? Yeah, you are, aren't you? Oh, there's the city's coming there for Champions League. Oh, you scumbag. Do you know what a waste, mate? Yeah. You probably are just a spotty little melter lad, and the reality is you are not used to anything other than seeing Manchester City cheat their way to success because you're a 12-year-old little melt lad. And the reality is, at some point, you'll become crashing down back to reality, and we'll all be laughing at you because our history and our traditions and our support is global. It's huge. Yours is something that could go away if your owners went away. If your owners went away, if anything happened, I don't know, who knows? You know, many things can happen. Look at Chelsea and Roman Abramovich. Who knows what the fuck can happen? If your owners went away, so would your success, mate. If your money went away, so would your success. And so would your fans. And you've got fuck all those to begin with. So, there you go. It's like, there's levels to this game, mate. We're a dynasty, mate. You know? What are you? Just cheating new money bastards. That's what it is, the reality. So fair enough, yeah. You've cheated your way to this success. You are in this position. Even got the officials paid off yesterday with your brown envelopes under the table beforehand, mate. Do what you got to do to survive, yeah, you cheating bastards. But ultimately, one day, and it will hopefully not be that far away, but maybe a couple of years, we'll see. You know, there's obviously a lot of greasing of palms that can take place to make these things be delayed, of course. But, one day you will be found out, mate, and we'll be standing above you, looking down at your rotting fucking corpse of a football club, laughing our heads off, mate, because it's all that you deserve. So enjoy it while it lasts, because I think that future is coming, mate. I do think that future is coming, honestly. So we are in a miserable place right now as Man United fans, and these City fans, they're lapping up, they're loving it. But it's all fake, guys. It's all fucking fake. Do you know that? It is. That's the reality. Oh, well done, Pep. You're a great coach. He is a great coach. They play great football. Oh, well done, Kevin De Bruyne. You're a great little ginger midfielder, yeah? Get loads of assists. He is a great midfielder. He does get loads of good assists. Haaland is a goal machine. They are a great team. But guess what? How the hell have they won that? They've cheated their way to it. It's illegal. It's fucking illegal. Lance Armstrong was a great cyclist, weren't he? Won all those Tour de France's. What a cyclist. Oh, my God. Roided out of his head on fucking EPO and performance enhancing drugs. Gets his Tour de France titles rescinded. In the bin, mate. You're in the fucking bin, mate. Even though you're the best, you're in the bin. Because you cheated. Because you fucking cheated, mate. So there you go. That's the future for City, I think. But anyway, you know what I'm saying is true as well. At some point, the reality will come back to bite these City scummers. At some point, it's coming. It's coming. Oh, Stephen Island, Giorgio Samaras, Richard Dunn, football heritage. Oh my goodness. He got the striker he wanted, he got the wingers he wanted, he got the keeper he wanted, he got the midfield he wanted. Yeah, no, fair point. I don't think there are many excuses that you can really make for Ten Hag signings. Get in there, my son. He's done well with a few of them, let's be honest. I think you've got to say Martinez is probably a player that we can hopefully see play for us for many years. I think he's got all the characters we need, character we need. But yeah, a lot of them haven't worked out. Simon Cowie, thank you for another 1999 super chat here, bro. Bloody hell, let's get some raw emojis in the chat there for Simon. He's going absolutely raw today, this guy. Thank you, Simon, very much indeed there for that. He says, Pig, as a supporter during them early years of Sir Alex Ferguson, the fan base did want him sacked in those first 3 seasons. And it took 4 years of us to win a trophy and 7 years to win the EPL. and 12 years to win the UCL. Simon, yeah, no, fair enough. I know, like, this is it. I know, that's it. I mean, a lot of people back then would have wanted Sir Alex gone. You could have easily sacked him if you were the owners of Manchester United at the time, based on a few years of mediocrity. I think they finished 13th, like, in the Premier League. Either was it the third season or the second season? You know, guff, awful. You know, awful. So, but they stuck with him, and they could see what he was doing, and they invested in him. And look what happened. He built literally the most successful football dynasty the world has ever seen. Certainly England had seen, certainly since, you know, that Liverpool side under, you know, Shankly and Paisley and that era. Manchester United was the next, even for longer, for 20 odd, 30 years, basically. Well, not 30 years, but 20 odd years. Manchester United were the dominant force in English football. So yeah, we could have easily chucked that away if they'd have just sacked him off early doors. I see the point you're making, but again, I mean, I think Alex Ferguson I think there was already signs of him being a pretty special manager, though, before coming to Manchester United, obviously winning European trophies with Aberdeen and things like that, and dislodging the likes of Rangers and Celtic from the top of the Scottish Football League. That is impressive in itself. That's some sort of special standout talent, isn't it? But he did have a troubled start at Manchester United for several years. Thank you so much, Simon, for getting in here with that. Appreciate you, dude. Absolutely much love. That's very kind of you. RBSK, thank you for the super chat. Says Jose back. He'd do well under this new structure. Jose back, yes or no, peeps? It's a no from me, Carol. Do you know what? Jose's the sort of guy that could come in and smash a few heads together, get rid of a few toxic melts, put his arm around a few people that need it, and get this team instantly playing better. I generally think he actually is that sort of guy. But his track record isn't the best in terms of style. He is known to be a defensive manager, at least for predominant periods of his career as well, and recently. Not in the past. I mean, think about some of his teams. Like, there was those Chelsea teams where they were just ripping teams open. There was that Real Madrid side. They set records scoring goals in La Liga one season. They got the most goals. You know, so I don't think you can say he's definitely a defensive manager, but it's, you know, stylistically, does he fit Manchester United's style of what we want is a manager who approaches the game in a certain way to try and win the game of football, but in an attacking style, in a expressive style. That's the right way for a Manchester United manager. So just to use an example of somebody, and I use this example painfully, but Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp, style-wise, is the sort of manager I would like. Not Jurgen Klopp, because obviously he's a Liverpool scummer, but, you know, that style, somebody they're trying to win games of football. They're confident in their abilities to do so, to coach a team to win a game of football in an attacking fashion, and they're trying to outscore the opposition and win games of football. That is a recipe for entertainment. It's a recipe for, you know, for success if you're a successful coach in that way of doing it. There's so many different ways to skin a cat. You could be a Simeone sort of defensive manager, Jose, or a Pep Guardiola possession style ball merchant, or a Kloppy attack merchant, or whatever the case may be. You know, but I do think that Man United need to think about that when we appoint managers. It's not good enough to just say, oh yeah, Jose's won all those trophies, he's a great manager. We have to start thinking about who's actually right for the job and who's the right character as well for the job. Jose's a bit volatile. Jose's a bit controversial. Is he the right guy? I'm not so sure. I think you need somebody who's holding themselves in a certain way and who's also willing to play the right way at Manchester United. We go on about the United way. We bang on about it. We want to see that back. I want to see that back. We're only going to see that back if we appoint somebody who's prepared to try and achieve that. Jose's probably not the one. So, Jose, great coach. I think he would do well, but I don't think it would bring us what we want. And he's also just a short-term manager. He never stays long-term. It would just be another patch over the problem appointment, wouldn't it? And I don't think it's like, you know, planning for the future very well. John says, Piggy Manchester is blue. It's obviously not, though, is it, mate? I mean, in reality, you would have to go on and win so many more Premier League trophies. You'd have to go win more multiple Champions Leagues and things like that. I mean, we're still the most winningest team in Manchester. So you're just talking shite, John. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Anyway, so yeah. Put it past you lot on Derby Day. Remember last Derby at Main Road? We didn't fear you lot. Took the game to you lot. Oh, he said Main Road, so to make himself seem like he's not 12. Dude, you guys were absolutely shite back in the day, mate. I remember, just like, what was it, like 2009 or something? I don't know. I remember you lost like 8-1 to Middlesbrough, bro. You know? You guys are fucking shite. You know, you are just literally overinflated new money guff. That's all. That is all. So you're the equivalent of like, I don't know, like, oh, let's challenge Mike Tyson to a boxing match in his heyday, in his prime, in his 80s. But I'm going to go in there with a fucking Uzi. Do you know what I mean? That's all you guys are. You're just using a fucking Uzi in a boxing match. You're a bunch of cheating pricks. Otherwise, you would be just Bill Gates there getting knocked out by fucking Mike Tyson with one blow. You know what I mean? Otherwise, that would be that. So just let's get some perspective here. Not as big as Dynasty as Klopp's Liverpool, though, and they haven't even spent money. Their books are always even. They sell and buy only what they can pay for themselves. Not as big a Dynasty as Klopp's Liverpool. What? What? Sir Alex Ferguson's Dynasty? That's not what you mean, right? That can't be what you mean, mate. Listen, Klopp spent a fair bit of money. He has spent it well, to be fair, and they've generated cash, and they've reinvested that cash, and they've not spent anywhere near like the top teams like City, United. Of course they haven't. But how many Premier League trophies has he won, mate? How many Prems has he got under his belt there, lad? Is it just the one, is it? Is it the same as Claudio Ranieri at Leicester, is it? Is it just the one? In all that time that he's been there, 7, 8, 9 years, whatever the fuck it is. I don't even know. The amount of time he's been there. Oh my God, he's got one, is it? That's pathetic, mate. That's fucking pathetic, lad. Oh, nice one. One trophy in 35 years for your football club, mate, in the league. Pfft. Gash, mate. Gash, that's not a dynasty. That's a dinner plate, mate. That's fucking shite. Anyway, yeah, the COVID title. No one even cared about it. Lifted the trophy in front of a fucking empty stadium. Mugs, lad. The COVID title. Everyone just gave up that season, mate. They were too worried about trying to challenge the striker in front of them in case they caught fucking the vid. You know what I mean? No one cares about that season. Darren says 115 reasons their success and they will pay for it soon when they're demoted down to League 2. Spot on, lad. I know, Kingston, I'm just doing a little bit of an early stream. If you want to see more early streams on the channel, maybe around about lunchtime, then show your support for the channel and the idea by smashing that like button on it. Give us a massive thumbs up on the streams and subscribe and set the old reminders by clicking the bell icon and stuff like that. That way you won't miss them. But yeah, we are going to try and do a lot more streams around about this time. Thank you, ST. Appreciate you. Yeah, you know it. Pick the picture I've just sent you. Hey, Rushmano, have a great day, mate. Thank you so much for getting in here and moderating some of these away smelts and stuff. Nice one, Berber. I appreciate you. Yes, let's have a look at this. What have you just sent me, Berber? Yeah. Love that. Klopp hasn't spent any money. Mane, 30 mil. Wijnaldum, 25. Salah, 44 mil. Oxlade, 35. Van Dijk, 75 mil. Keita, 53. Tavares, 43 million. Shaqiri, 14 million. Alisson, 65 million. Timikas, 12 million. Thiago, 27 million. Jota, 45 million. Kanate, 36 million. Diaz, for 50 million. Darwin Núñez, 84 million. Gakpo, 45 million. McAllister, 36 million. Szoboszlai, 61 million. Endo, 17 million. Gravenberch, 35 million. And Klopp hadn't spent any cash. No, they spent it well. They generated it. They sold players. But at the same time, that is funny, Berber. What a great list. That is quality. Spent a lot, and they've got one Premier League title to show for it, the COVID title. What a bunch of gashers. Anyway, right, okay, so I'm just going to do a very quick rundown of what we discussed, guys, in this video. Then I'm going to get into the live chat, have a bit of a proper Q&A with you legends here. Make sure you subscribe so you can chat. You do need to be subscribed to chat, so get yourself subscribed if you're not. But if you missed the show and you're just getting in here now, we were just talking about the prospect of, obviously, Ten Hag being here come the summertime. It's probably quite likely that he won't be. Paul Scholes agrees and says that he thinks Ineos has already made their mind up, and he doesn't agree. He doesn't think that he will be there in the summer, sadly. Also, we were looking at the possession stats for the game yesterday and just the overall stats of the game. Man City had more shots than Man United had possession during yesterday's Manchester derby. We were always going to get massively outpossessed in that game, but, I mean, that is still an abhorrent stat. And the possession stats in general, 26% possession for United, 74 for City and the amount of shots, 27 for City, 3 for United. It goes to tell the tale of where United are at this moment in time. But I still will say this, that Ten Hag did set the United side up yesterday, I think, to try and get a result from the game. You look at how Ollie did it those few years back where he got several results against City. You know, you've got to be resolute, defensively organised and really, really defend quite deep and counter-attack well. And that's how we scored that first goal. And we did play well throughout the game. It's just a shame that obviously the officials stitched us up. And yeah, City are just a better team than us right now. That's why they absolutely dominated us for chances. And it was just going to be a tough day. So yeah, there you go. Possession stats were filth. Ten Hag thinks that we are reasonably close though, which I disagree with. But he says, don't forget Man City, the best team in the world at the moment. We can be close with everyone on board. We have many problems out due to injury. We were already close to the final last year. I mean, I guess you can't really argue with the valid points that he's made, I suppose, about the fact that we have got a lot of injured players. And the personnel just doesn't match Manchester City's personnel, blow for blow whatsoever. You know, it would have been nice maybe if we had Højlund in the game, for instance. You know, like we don't even have a proper striker. Ten Hag says the gap is not that big between the two sides. I personally think the gulf in class is pretty evident. It's massive, and it will probably take several seasons for us to chip away and get to that stage if things do go in the right direction. That's a big if. And there's also the possibility that at some point these City wankers will be found out, will be punished, and then that'll be the end of them. That's the hope. But we can't rely on that because they've got many a brown paper bag under the table filled with lots of unmarked bills, my friends, which they can distribute. Thank you, Capen. Appreciate that. Nice one, bro. Ika Ichsani says, as United fans since 93, stop talking about our history. Last Premier League that we got more than 10 years ago. Move on, guys. We are shite. Just admit that. Well, it counts for something, though. I'm talking about when people come in here and saying, you know, Manchester's blue. Manchester's not blue at all, mate. It might be tinged slightly purple or some shite because they have had a success in the last, 10 years, this era. But history counts for a lot, mate. And you'll realise that when once this City Scummers team is finished, because, I don't think it will have much legacy, personally. I think once it's done, it will be done. And what do I mean by that? Well, either once they get fined out by FFP breaches and all that sort of stuff and get actual punishment from the Premier League, or their owners decide that, oh shit, we better get out of here because we're a bunch of dodgy bastards, or I don't know what happens. Look at Roman Abramovich at Chelsea. Anything can happen. A change in regime. At some point, they will go back to being supported by 12 people at the stadium and ultimately not winning anything. Yeah, nice one. There you go. It's not blue. I see more Oldham Athletic shirts than Bertie's. Get in there, Phil Berryland. Exactly. What City channels? You have 7 fans. Exactly. There you go. It's not very many. Best comedians come from Scouserland. There's a couple of decent ones, but yeah, of course. What's that? We won't be stripped of trophies. Also, for a bit of history, United fans, Man City won a major honour before Man United. Okay, fair enough. But you're going back into the fucking 1800s here now, pal. But I'm joking anyway. In regards to that, though, how can you say that you won't be stripped of trophies? I mean, there's a probability that will happen. I mean, if you cheat, if you gain an unfair advantage to win an award or a competition, shouldn't that be rescinded? Shouldn't that be taken back? It is in other sports. If Lance Armstrong cheats his way to the Tour de France, it's taken back once they find out he's a cheat. Why is that? Why should that be any different with Manchester City? I think you're approaching this with you City fans are approaching this with a bit of bit of a paper bag over your head, mate. maybe filled with loads of those fucking dodgy notes. Because, I don't know, I think you might be a bit blind. One day in the future, you will be punished, mate. I believe that's true. Unless you guys literally make it go away by paying them off. If that happens, then okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. The world's a corrupt, horrible place. Nothing we can do about it. But if justice prevails, you guys will have your titles taken away from you, I would hope. Thank you, Johnny. Says you're spot on, Pig. Because if you have breached that many different rules, 115 different regulations that you've breached supposedly, and then they find all these underhand tactics, tapping players up when they're young and signing them up, giving them payments under the table, which they've already proved, or not proven, but they've already alleged for City to have done, and all sorts of different things. overinflations of sponsorship revenue due to moving money around, aka money laundering, whatever you want to say, whatever how you want to pick it up, paint it together. However, what you want to say it, Manchester City have got a lot of guilt, and at some point, surely they will be punished. Yeah, exactly. That's it, Rushmano. You respect, the Liverpool. You've got to respect Liverpool, how they go about it, the history, the heritage. But City, they're just absolutely scum, aren't they? You're absolutely right. Well said, well said. Okay, anyway, let's get it back on a more positive tip. No need for bantering this away City fan in the live chat, mate. He's got nothing better to do with his Monday afternoon, coming here to gloat because his team have cheated and paid off the officials and done all that they've done. Bunch of dirty bastards, aren't they? But there you go. Let's talk positive for a couple of minutes, guys. There were some positives from the game. Let's talk about Raphael Varane. He was brilliant. What a beast at the back there. Dalot was excellent as well, and he's just generally been brilliant this season. He's a real positive. What a beast. We've got the right back position on lock these days. Dalot and Wan-Bissaka, man, that's cushy, really. Those guys, they're good enough for me for the next several years if they continue down the path that they've been going down. With their improvements, their progression, effort levels, all of that. I can't fault them at all, either of them. And then, obviously, the positives from the game. Andre Onana's done well. Manchester United were in the game. We defended well organised. It's one of those, isn't it? I am on tonight, DBR. Yes, indeed. I'll be on tonight, mate. We're going to do some sort of United news update around about 9:45 p.m. So come and join us for that, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, Flying Pig United, and also click the bell icon so you get the notification later. City would have struggled to escape the Championship without Oil Dosh artificially inflating club size. 100%. Kambala. Yeah, so we brought Kambala on. That's quite interesting. Time to disband that Gov Club. Well, yeah. In regards to the City scummers, hopefully that happens. And in regards to Man United, actually, we need to have a bit of a mass exodus ourselves in the summer and get rid of a lot of players. Thank you, S. Madison. I appreciate you. Superstar, much love. Manchester's the only club to, close to us in trophy count. Is City guilty of 115 charges? They will lose all of their trophies and their top players and be expelled. Certainly, even if they say got relegated for one season to the Championship. Now, things like this have happened in the past. If you look at like Juventus over in Italy, or there's loads of examples of teams being punished. They've had bad points deductions, big fines, or even relegation, like Juve. It happens. They now, if that happens, even if they are relegated for one season to the division below, man, it's going to be like rats off a sinking ship out of there, man. They're all mercenaries. They're not there. I don't think most of them are there for the love of the club. I mean, you might have the odd passion merchant like Foden, who's a local lad who's come through and loves the club and all that. But I think a lot of them are there just for the money. Grealish should rather be playing for Villa if Villa weren't shite compared to City at the moment. And obviously Villa are quite decent right now, but you know what I mean when he left them. Thank you, Bruce McIntosh. I appreciate you. Don't know, Kieran. Possibly, lad. I might do a gaming stream tonight. Anyway, it's one of those. OG says United won the first European Cup in '68. Only took City about 55 years after that and billionaire sugar daddies to finally get one away. Enjoy. Well said, OG. Loved that. Absolute legend. Great comment. Sean Eason, you wanted United to win yesterday. One of those rare occasions Liverpool and United interest, but they're saying that is rare. I know, yeah. We let you guys down, to be fair, in the end there. I bet you're loving it for most of the game, though. Anyway, hey, Makato, you hid in a patient's room with them to watch the game instead of working, seen the comeback coming, lost our composure. Oh, legend, Makato. That's quality, lad. What are you on about there, Caleb, lad? Why are you acting like they're proven? Who are we talking about now? Sorry, I've gone off on a different topic here. What are we talking about? First European trophy. Well, City's first European trophy was 1970, actually. Oh, what was that? The Intertoto Cup, lad. Anyway. Anyway, guys, right. Great chat, guys. Great lunchtime chat. I'm going to try and do more of these, in the daytime, round about lunchtime, or certainly early afternoon. Try and get on here and do more chats. Great turnout today, folks, for an off-the-cuff random show. A few hundred legends in here. Thanks for getting in, everyone. Thanks for commenting and having your say and interacting with me and everybody else in the chat. Come back after this video's finished and get your thoughts and opinions in the not live comments about, the game, your thoughts and reaction, etc. Come back and get your thoughts in there and have your say. Nice one. Thank you, Dunk, for getting in here. Ryan, Berber, Kingslayer, Rushmana, Udon, Outways, Simon Cowie. I want to say thank you to Simon Cowie and all the super chatters today. Seriously, Simon, thanks very much for having your say and your generosity there. And everybody else, all the members of the channel in green, thanks for being members, like Stephen Shipman, mate. Thank you for being members of the channel. Thank you to Rush Mano and all the moderators for moderating the chat today. I appreciate you all. Bunch of absolute legends. Thank you, Connor. Thank you, everyone. Sai, Rakdos, Aways, Kieran, Kingslayer, Natalia. Legends. Thanks for watching, guys. That's it from me. Man United, just not good enough at the minute. Eric Ten Hag, his future's in doubt. Maybe with Ineos here now with a new regime in the summer, they may make the change. Probably don't want to invest hundreds of millions of pounds in the manager that has already spent hundreds of millions of pounds and got us playing pretty bang average. The City game we're always going to struggle in. That's not the indicator of how poor we are at the moment. The real indicator is where we are in the league, our goal difference, our overall style of play, the mentality, the effort, the bottle, the bollocks, the tactics, everything. That's the real measure of where we're at. It's just not good enough, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch and Kick at Flying Pig United. Check out the website, flyingpigunited.com. Check out the gaming channel, Flying Pig Gaming on YouTube as well. And yeah, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you, OG. Ryan Marty, great to see you as well, you legend. Yes, mate. Nice one. Thanks for joining. And everybody, Nectar, Dunk, we're just finishing now, but have a great day all. Piggy loves you. That's the end of the stream. Stay classy. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.